I believe it is essential the resumption of dialogue, and I myself, as Secretary General of the United Nations, I'm ready to assume the initiative that might be necessary for that to be possible if the conditions allowing for it are met. I want also to say that I visit today a detention center for refugees and migrants, and I was very moved and shocked by the level of suffering and especially by the level of despair that I found. This is, of course, not only a responsibility for Libya, it's a responsibility for the whole of the international community. And obviously, in the present circumstances that we are living, it will be very difficult to argue that disembarkation in Libya is disembarkation in a safety situation. And so my appeal is for the international community to understand the need for international refugee law to be fully respected and the need to address the migration problem in a way that is compatible with the defense of the interests of the states, but also the human rights of the migrants. I'm at your disposal for any questions that you might raise.
We can take 5 questions. فينا ناخذ 5 أسئلة. تفضل.
Just a moment.
You speak in English.
Ah, you speak in English, okay.
Do you visit Benghazi tomorrow and you will meet with Marshal Haftar, and what you will say to him?
I never say in public what I'm supposed to say the next day in private. You will listen from me firsthand, not from any news agency. I'm sorry. Obviously, there is a clear message that I made public, and that message was made just a few minutes ago. I think it's very important that Libya recognizes, and everybody recognizes in Libya, the need for a solution to be political, to be based in dialogue, and it is clear for me that we absolutely need to avoid the drama of what would be a major confrontation, namely a major confrontation in Tripoli. It is very important that both the military movements, both the statements made by everybody have a de-escalation and have a logic allowing for calm to be reestablished and for fear to disappear. Obviously, there will be very important things to discuss, but that you'll allow me to keep for the meeting tomorrow.
مساء الخير، محمد صبرا قناة ليبيا شنة. من خلال زيارتكم اليوم لعدة الرئيس سراج والمجلس الأعلى للدولة وحتى الأطراف الليبية الأخرى، هل وجدتم لديهم يعني إرادة حقيقية من أجل وضع حل جذري للسياسة في البلاد، خاصة مع قرب انعقاد المؤتمر الجامعي للدعم الأمم المتحدة، في حال يعني كما قال المبعوث الدولي في السابق في المؤتمر السابق، إذا لم يكن هنالك حل أو لم يصل الأطراف الليبية لحل، فهل هنالك خطة جاهزة من الأمم المتحدة من أجل الضغط على الأطراف السياسية في ليبيا من أجل التسريع بعملية الانتخابات؟ شكرا.
I saw in every of my interlocutors a strong support to the National Conference. And we believe that it is the National Conference, it is the Libyans themselves that should define the order of the different elections and the adequate timing for them. As I said, we have no UN agenda. Our agenda is the Libyan people and the Libyan interests. It is our belief that Libya needs the unification of its different institutions and needs an electoral process that will allow for both parliamentarian and presidential elections to take place, again, with the order and with the timing that the National Conference will hopefully be able to advocate.
التحركات الأخيرة للجنرال الخليفة حفتر وإعلانه اليوم في كلمة مسجلة الحرب على ودخول قوات العاصمة طرابلس وتجهيز لقوات العاصمة طرابلس، يأتي هذا التصعيد العسكري من الجنرال حفتر على بعد أيام قليلة جدا من انعقاد الملتقى الوطني الجامع. هل أنتم كمجتمع دولي كأمم متحدة كمجلس أمن هل لديكم رسائل قوية أو تحركات قوية لإيقاف هذه الحرب؟ وهل يعني استمرارها فشل خطة البعثة الأممية في ليبيا بالتحضير للملتقى الوطني الجامع؟
As I said very clearly, our business is not escalation, is de-escalation. And I strongly hope that we'll witness a de-escalation, both military and verbal, allowing for the recognition that Libya needs a political solution, not a military one.
هل هناك إمكانية لتأجيل المؤتمر الجامع بعد التحركات السياسية والعسكرية في طرابلس؟
Well, what we want is exactly to make sure that those movements end, that a situation of calm is reestablished, because we also believe that that would be a very important element for the National Conference to be successful. It's difficult to have a national conference in an environment of global confrontation. So it's very important to de-escalate and to have a situation of restraint and of calm.
السؤال الأخير.
Okay.
سؤال أخير.
Last question.
زياد الحجاجي قناة ليبيا بمقر. هل تواصلتم مع الأطراف التي شهدت من خلالها تحركات عسكرية يعني جنوب طرابلس؟ هل تحصلتم على وعود بإنهاء هذه الصراعات أو تصعيد العسكري أو تصعيد اللغوي كما أسلفتم يعني؟ وهل هو إذا ما سمح الله يعني هل إذا ما تطور الوضع إلى تصعيد عسكري هل سيؤثر ذلك على انعقاد المؤتمر الوطني الجامع في بلامس؟
Well, we have not yet finished our mission. I hope that when finishing our mission tomorrow, we'll be able to have a clear picture about the situation and eventually, and if possible, to take an initiative in relation to dialogue, which is our interest to do, if we manage to have an agreement on that. But it's exactly because we believe that it's important to reestablish an environment that is calm for the national conference to be successful. So obviously we can have a national conference in all kinds of circumstances, but for a conference to be successful, we need to be an environment in which people are ready to talk to each other, trying to find solutions, and not in an environment of confrontation that makes it very difficult to have the minimum consensus or the minimum agreement on a common future.
مشكورين الأخوان، مشكورين. Thank you.